Since the dawn of humankind, people have been creating artifacts. The history of human civilization can be traced back to these physical items that have been created over the years. Scientists are still uncovering new artifacts that illustrate how our species has evolved and grown, while at the same time highlighting how different cultures have interacted with each other. The discovery of new artifacts reveals a glimpse into ancient human life, establishing what life was like at the time. For instance, ancient writings reveal more about ancient civilizations than just language and literature. It also provides information about culture, religion, government, and society. Here are 11 recently discovered ancient artifacts. 11. The Crystal Skull. The Crystal Skull of London is a fascinating discovery. It was found in the 1890s, and it dates back to the early days of a very important era in history. The Crystal Skull is a remarkable artifact that was found buried in an old creek bed near Hampstead Heath, London. The skull was excavated from its grave by archaeologist William Flinders Petrie in 1895 and has been undergoing rigorous examination ever since. Researchers have been able to date the skull to between 1450 and 1650 AD, making it one of the earliest crystal skulls ever found on mainland Europe. Furthermore, while most crystal skulls are broken and shattered, this one appears to be remarkably intact, meaning it could be worth an astonishing £3 million or more if sold at auction. 10. The St. Peter's Basilica Vault Door Handle. This handle is a bronze handle that was created specifically for the St. Peter's Basilica Vault Door in Italy. This door has been part of the church since the 14th century and has been opened only a handful of times. The vault is thought to contain many priceless artifacts, but it is closed off from the public by an enormous bronze door with a single metal handle. The door was supposedly designed to be heavy enough that nobody could open it by accident, and once you do open it, there's a long staircase that descends into a dark abyss. The door handle is one of the few surviving artifacts from the time of Constantine, Rome's first Christian emperor. This artifact is significant because it shows that Christianity was legitimized in Rome at this time, which is important because it led to Christianity being spread around the world. 9. Viking Ship Burial Cloth. Archaeologists found a rare Viking ship burial cloth in Norway. The cloth is called Berketype, after the site where similar fabrics were discovered in Sweden dating back to 800 AD or earlier. 8. French soldiers' ear tags from World War I. The ear tags from World War I were found in the battlefields of France in 2001 by a metal detectorist. These ear tags belonged to French soldiers and would have been attached to their ears with a string. The tag had the soldier's identification number and his regiment or division. The tag also had an inscription that said "Tu es un Francais," which means "you are a Frenchman." In the early 20th century, France started to introduce a new way of identification for its soldiers. The ear tags contained a number and a letter which would identify the soldier. The French soldiers' ear tags from World War I are relics that symbolize the human toll of war. They represent individual soldiers who fought in World War I. 7. Underwater carvings on Yanaguni Island. Yanaguni, Japan, is one of the most interesting places in the world. The underwater carvings on this island are one of the reasons why. It is believed that these carvings are either natural or man-made. If it is man-made, then it is believed to be a sunken city because there are 10,000 years of history written in these carvings. If it's natural, then there has to be some reason for the pattern. It is believed that the underwater structures found on the shoreline of Yanaguni Island are actually ruins of an ancient city. They are supposed to be around 10,000 years old. These land structures were found in 1995 by a Japanese diver looking for sea life in this region. This discovery led to intense debates among geologists and archaeologists about whether this was just a natural formation or ruins of an ancient city. 6. Ancient Mayan pottery uncovered in Honduras. The discovery of the pottery was made by a team on a dig near the town of Copan. The first discovery of Mayan pottery on Honduran soil was first made in 2009, and excavation has been ongoing since then by the National Museum. They have found over 100 individual pieces most of which date back to before 600 AD. The team had been excavating at an abandoned Maya village called Zoltan for about 2 weeks, when one of their team members found what they believed to be a piece of pottery under a layer of soil that had been left behind from an ancient house that had burned down centuries ago. 5. Mastodon skeleton in San Diego. In the Humboldt Bay Lagoon in San Diego County, California, a mastodon skeleton was discovered. The discovery of this mastodon skeleton is evidence that sharks have been around for at least 20 million years. The discovery of a mastodon skeleton on the coast of California is shedding some light on the San Diego County's past. Mastodons are an extinct species of elephant-like mammals that went extinct some 10,000 years ago. But this recent discovery has helped to provide evidence of their existence in California. The mastodon skeleton was found alongside what appears to be a megalodon shark tooth, and together they provide strong evidence that the two interacted and eventually led to one's death. 4. A 3,000-year-old golden goblet. This intricately engraved goblet is a true work of art. It tells a story that spans thousands of years. The goblet was found in a tomb near the Valley of the Kings, and it's been dated to around 1290 BC. Luckily, the engravings were preserved for over 3,000 years thanks to the dry desert air and sand where it was found. Archaeologists can use these engravings to figure out who this goblet belonged to and what they ate from it. The 3,000-year-old goblet that was discovered in a tomb belonging to someone who is believed to be a nobleman from the time of Ramesses II has been found very well preserved. This is an excellent example of how well-preserved Egyptian artifacts are. The goblet's most important feature is that it has not been altered since it was made. It also shows the intricate techniques of the Egyptians in their workmanship and artistry. 3. 3D painting on a Greek grave. The 3D painting on the grave in Aspendos, Turkey is a great example of the Greeks' mastery of both sculpture and painting. The tombstone was discovered in 1962, and it's only one of 2 such examples we know of from antiquity. The 3D painting on the grave of a high-ranking officer within the 3rd century Roman army, dating as far back as the 3rd century AD. This is one of the most accurate representations we have available of what life was like in that period. 3D paintings are among the most striking features of ancient Greek architecture. It is uncertain whether these paintings were meant to be seen by visitors or by those buried in the building. 2. Saudi Arabian Neolithic settlement. The discovery of the settlement was made by a team led by Dr. Hugh Graucud. The settlement is 10,000 years old and is believed to be the first human occupation in the Arabian Peninsula. This makes it a very significant site, since scientists did not think people were living in this area until at least 6,000 BC. The discovery of this site will allow archaeologists to learn more about who lived there and what they did to survive. The biggest difference between other Neolithic civilizations across the world is their lack of animals domestication. This civilization relied on hunting for food instead of farming or animal domestication, which would have drastically reduced their food supply over time compared to civilizations that were able to rely on farming or animal domestication for sustenance. 1. Ancient Egyptian vessel. The British Museum is one of the world's largest museums. It houses collections that cover art, culture, and history. It has recently announced that it has found an ancient Egyptian vessel at the museum's stores from 1872. The vessel was found in a storage room during a routine check for any items that have been misplaced or lost over the years. Archaeologists believe that it dates back to somewhere around 2800 BC and is a fascinating piece of discovery. The vessel is believed to have been used for storing and pouring wine, and dates back to an era before the pyramids were built. This discovery is one of many that the museum has over the years. Over 1 million artifacts are currently housed in its collections.